มีจุดคำรางตรงอินตลากระตรงดิ่งค่ะจุดแรกฝรั่งตรงอินตลากระตรงก็โรยเทดิ่งมั้งจะมีการไงทำสักก็จุดแรกกับไทยเราค่ะ Children with Autism อาศัยกับมินจูเอลิมอยอาศัยIndiana ฝรั่ง Baptist Church of Indiana สินกระกันถกหันทางกันจำตาหนึ่ง please กันจะเป็นมินสิงสักก็บอยปาตุนีเวกจันท่าจันสุงโลอินเปกิรวันเนี่ยลุงไอทูกันเราซิมกันเจอดิ่งมีเขาเสียบอยปากันลุงสาลิกันเบียนักกันมังจังไกเทนันงานลำช่วยชามอบอยปาเนี่ยฟันดูกะไกสอกมีเขาบอยปากันเทียมนักสิเราเนี่ยสุนลอยนักลงสถามเสบอยปากันลุงโอ้ยรุนดำตูจิสุคริมินทลากันสัมกันปากกับเทียนนุ่งอาเมนโอเคกันถกลานะกันถกลานะค่ะ a little bit about me กระเรลดูมีจูเกค่ะน่าฮักเด็กก็บอกน้ำภาษากันไหนโซ I have a husband yes ท่องจะทั้งสิท่องที่มี he's my husband จุเลคนอุ้ยเจ้ากันไหนฝนูขายาที่มีสิจุเลคนเกค่ะ Taylor University ค่ะ elementary education special education in ค่ะ graduate จุเลSayamah Catholic School ค่ะกลุ่มลีซุงค่ะ kindergarten teacher กับตวนจุเล FBCI life skill teacher กับสี life skill to autism classroom มาจุเลคนตัวค่ะ Clayton Young elementary school special educator self contained classroom กับตวนเรียนไลจุเลค่ะ Grand Canyon University ค่ะ master of autism spectrum disorder ที่มีค่ะกะไก่ปะเทียนทศวรรษกระดงอีอินจังฟ้าสิเลไม่กลุ่มเลยก็ graduate แทงดิ้งจะมีสิกเราเทเตอร์ตาดูจุเลค่ะตัวค่ะกันถกไล่เดี๋ยวรองอ่ะค่ะมาเด็กกันเทไล่ยังไงชามุมาจุเลกันสิมดูมีจูไม่สิบิค่ะ we're gonna talk a little bit about what autism is ยังมีสิทธิกันเรียลตากันบ่มด้านนึงกันเรียลหานะยังมีสิทธิมีค่ะมาเด็กค่ะ I would like to touch it and then inclusive classroom ที่มีกันตรงกันเรียลดิ้งยังมีสิทธิมีตาเนี่ยโน้เลยกันเทสาลิงจุเล self contained classroom ที่มีราคากันยังกันติดกันเจอดิ่งนี้จะมีเทเลคอน promoting positive behavior ที่ autism classroom มากันในอัน behavior ปกติยังสิกัน manage แต่เรื่องที่มีปวดหลักกันเจอดิ่งมั้งจะกับ goal จะค่ะตัวนั่นลงดิ่ง Sunday อะค่ะ at least 1 2 3 แต่ 3 things แต่ค่ะ you 3 things take away ที่แต่นั่นในดิ่งมีค่ะกระตุ้มตามีสิ right จะคนตัวนี้กับ presentation ค่ะมั้งautism spectrum มีตัวตุ้มตุกร่างอะค่ะ there's so much to talk about นะคะกันเบียกอินช่าง a beneficial ดิ่งมีโอเค the tip of the iceberg ที่พวกเขากันลาก that's what we're going to do today okay alright let's just first look at the definition of autism right autism do developmental condition right that means it starts from the brain okay talk is in a talk right there's a differences in the brain an talk or kan talk ka adang lam te umti adang lam kami condition kasi kami condition ka developmental condition ti mi chu minung pakhat thang lian right thang lian minung na hak te sin upa thang lian a kami ka kami condition si affect right ati kai mi kha thila jang mi si ati kai ti le kon communication ati kai communication ti mi chu tuอันมาอันจงดัน right อันจงดันค่ะอาทิเคand then อันหมายจงดันลงสิลาวินนั่งมา right นั่งมานะจงมีค่ะอันเทเทียมดันค่ะขมิดราคาอาทิเค so it's both ways ประคัดลงสิลา and then next one is social skills right กันนี่จูตัวแค่ร่วมประคัดตาคีนูแล้วนั่นเทด่าเรามีประคัดทอนเราเต่าแต่ยังไง right ยังมันนั่นเปียกเราเลยค่ะ you know it's awkward right awkward มีค่ะนะ handle เทเราร้องอ่ะ you're gonna end up talking to each other นั่นเปียกเราดิ้งรัวปีนั่นจังเมนไทย right that's called social right กันรัวปีกัน make มีค่ะ it comes natural to us นะฮักเตสินกันจะสิเก่านั้น when you put in a room like that you just immediately make friends right อันนี้จูค่ะมีค่ะอันตัวเทเราสิเรา however อันหาซาokay ตัวนี้ค่ะหาซาที่มีจงให้กระจงตำลิงตัวเทเราที่มีอันหาซาที่มีกระจงตำลิง because I believe that eventually อันตัวเท but it takes right extra steps right so นะคะอันหาซาที่มีค่ะกำลังตั้งใจดึงมั้ง and then behavior ที่เรียกทูตราคาเนี่ยแฟกอันจังดันยังกระตุ้นอันเฟดัน right อันเต่าดันที่เรียกได้ปวดราคา effect รองให้ปวดราคากันเรียนเลยดิ้ง next ยันที่สี่ undiagnosed มีค่ะเราซิมตัวมีจู there are two ways to be diagnosed with autism the first one is a doctor diagnosis right นะคะประคัดเตะค่ะกลุ่มเพลงที่อาศัยเลย24 months อาศัยค่ะอัน check up ที่เรียกค่ะdoctor นี่ค่ะ okay like an milestone อันโจทย์ this kid is not right growing the way that I want him or her to อติติกา something suspicion right บางทีอัน suspect มีเล็กคนค่ะ they're gonna do first screening ที่มีอันตัวนึง screening it's not to determine if they have autism or not right a yes or no ที่มี answer เป็กแล้ว it just gives them an idea right and then screening it result อันโจทย์ที่ขมีสินค่ะ oh my goodness okay we actually have to have that right diagnosis มีค่ะกัน hold ดูอันที่นึงป่ะป่วยมีจุกค่ะ ASD ค่ะ autism คิดตัวนักประคัด right tamlo diagnosing in ki test de kumchu blood test right they don't have that so to me diagnosing is dingin they use a handbook called DSM-5 azatin chu ka share to loading it's in your file right it's a manual that they use to diagnose it right atang ane tala makha mental disorder timi it doesn't mean that autism is a mental disorder it's just a handbook that they use okay and then DSM-5 ni they give us 3 categories right level 1 2 level 3 in fact level 1 2 level 3 ka nahak pakhat ka it's not to put them in a box nahak pakha label ding in fact mi asalaw right mi tlong ta pakhat hi oh okay level 3 sia bo batul tuk too much tin ki label ding in fact mi asalaw 1 2 3 kan nei nak san chu hi mi tlong ta pakhat hi jan looking bo matul right yang level 1 bo matul se mo level 2 dani bo matul mo level 3 dani bo matul mo timi an thai du right khami ranga kha level khami an pe right this is something to put in the back of your mind malam chana kha autism tlong ta kha aron min up sibang ta sala hi mi some put this in the back of your mind okay what kind of support do I give this kid to they may what then I put this in the back of your mind level 1 to support tool tuk lem lao support tool la le khon ki malte ve khat ban hi war remind tool men right social skill and awkward ka ding mi an biak cham tuk lao la si men thai nan tlonga kha an ma te nan fe thai classroom an tau thai cha an ma te an to thai khera an ngan thai sama fial mi poltifek fi te an sut thai asinan bo malte bom chu tul pan te ti rol pi kom nan ning ve pos asinan akyanga adult right akyanga bom tu pakhat atul ring lao kami kha level 1 and sim level 1 pakhat long in a general classroom right general classroom is a classroom with kids without disability they can function it without support level 2 they sometimes need support sometimes they don't kami pol kha an si tlong ina chu tlong in hatong ka sitik atlong ka mang re raw dengi mo tlong ina kha sometimes those special education classrooms sunga umina hakan and then 5 or 10 minutes hong kha general classroom kha dan zero push out services anti kami to thai pol right kami pol kha level 2 da pol an se bom an tool na not that severe right bom tu lo tilak lo ale bom tool right kami pol kha mirol the one and level 3 asile kon kan requiring a lot of support potentially you have to have an adult with him all that time right tu kana jona ka self-contained classroom asi 2 le 3 pol mostly 3 and that means behavior la luar right and then bathroom an fet la le khon ek kan shok sak tol because an ma ten shu thai lo kha pol kha kan and then most of them come non-verbal they mean so ka is in ke word form thai lo mi ke tong thai lo mi ke non-verbal right but non-verbal asinan level 1 student lan thau mo chumi ronga autism ti mi so it's a spectrum means that account right long ta everybody with an autism is different timi tong kam nan thai ta ding long ta pakhat autism nei mi na thai ding another tong ta pakhat autism nei mi thon compare thai because they're completely different right na kha tu kan out la kha autism nei mi si kan out pakhat autism anei rong a tong ta midang autism por ma ka thai a si jong la because they are completely different right timi rong a kha that is why himi kha put this in the back of your mind thai tu mu right nan himi kha file tivek document tivek kha he's a level 1 they can do be khaman kan to da because box a kan re do la right labeled la kan pek do la okay so some of the challenges kha kan real ding mo himi an ni kha challenges kha difficulties an tong mi kha tam tuk but these are some of the things I would like to bring up is delayed speech to doctor pone na hak pot la tu pediatrician pone ke an look up for me pon me kha chu long ta hi tong thai cha na tong lao right khmi pol kha an zau and then limited speech ti mi chu kha atong thai ko nan kha word pakha le pani long in tong mang khwe tan and then non-verbal rowdy tan that means they cannot form a word right sound ti vek long in an tong ralu jale khan gesture ti mi chu tu kan man ta ti kan ti mi khi we just naturally no I know that no one taught you this means come you just know it right nan ron mo but they need to be taught that this is come right and then thumbs up ti thumbs down ti pot la his thumbs up means good ti mi la he they need to be taught right khabe po gesture kan the chem lo and then tone of voice la he tu sometimes kan thin heng la tu kalau zau lo ding ti sa jun la khan na tong ding thin heng non in na tong ding right but na mel ka zau lo nan na okay in kan na thin heng ti ka thai right but they don't get that right they need help to understand tone of voice it doesn't come naturally to them Next is social challenges. Role pit la kanit la olten kan tuat heko. However, I need to ka extra step, right? Extra step support and tool. And then social cues. For example, til pakat, how do I say this? Toy pakat here. Long ta pakat mang bang ta sila ka. That toy is taken, right? I should not take that toy. Timi ka. Long ta dang chun ka. They get it, right? Okay, I need to find something else to play with. Til dang mang nimi ka hodo, but if they want that toy, they're gonna go and get it because that's what they want, right? Kami pot la ka zir andul, and then group activity like pot la ka an har saza. Back and forth conversation timi tu tukala so ron aizaw mo ante dingi aizaw nang te, right? In back and forth. Kami ka it's a challenge for them. Monday to Friday ka I work with kids with autism, and then Sunday I got sal. And then bus in under tum tive kataka. How are you? They ka su tika. Is it cold? Question too, right? We want to ask them question, but most of the time I don't get a response, right? Respond ka kale yes, no, tive krong long. And then there's like continuous umlaut, right? Because it's cut. Because I just answer your question. That's all you need, right? Kami focus there. There's no back and forth conversation. Behavior le emotional challenges asile kun repetitive action timi tu it's action pakat ki tuwa rero kisi, right? Stimming ki just nan thailo pang ne stimming timi hi kan zat ni kan nei the, right? Stimming, we all have a stimming. An malo an nei lo. Some of you might flip your pen. Some of you might twirl your hair. I go like this. I go like that. And nan cook zangki. That's a stimming. Stimming timi to repeated action ka over and over again tuwa mi ka to deal with the situation you're in. Tu kom rai do ta le kon ke, right? Til pakat kan nan chang tu chu kimi kan tuwa re no, but nan mo silo, right? It's just that's how your body reacts. Anit la ka stimming an ne, right? Example of stimmings that you might see is long ta pakat stimming ka, it goes like this. Right? Multi-sensory issue na like he just stim like that. And then pakat asile kon every 5 steps special kon every 5 step like kon a spin tool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spin. A spin tool. Yes. So special kon that's his stimming, right? And ama ka tilang ava pa tum all mina hak na apa tum asilo jun. I try not to stop it, right? I want to teach him to walk, right? But sometimes he needs that stimming, right? So can be stimming work ne. And then transition board an har sa tuk kan itu multi schedule thing dole ko oh si se kan ti, right? An itu schedule thing hi har tuk, right? Long ta pa kan nei mi kha recess a fem high side to me lunch feeding se. Long ta thar kan nei tu kha kami schedule thing rong kha chu bi long ta kha lunch a fem high ni recess a fe thang ne. Kami athai ve ten kan suak dan le ihsin schedule, right? Kan sim cha ko nan athai ve te adang te athai ve te whole way kha tlu ki 10 from a throat, right? Kami polling kha they react like that. And then managing emotion tv tu kan thin nat ve le khon long ta dang pot la an tap asiko nan, but it's not that big, right? An ne chu an thin heng le khon or an tap le khon kha, it's like a big reaction, right? Pakhat long ta thin heng tu ki kha, and he knows good in mi thong nga lo ti mi kha thai, right? And the athin heng tu he's ready to punch me to me kha he make ama smang ta amai level a ding ka le kha just idea long ta pakhat ki thin heng tu kin thil physical lo hard to never go in their level, right? Unlevel and never tlung asile khon you're right there and low hurt thai. So kami ha kadula taka I'm like standing in front of him ani ha kut khatin kha, he knows ani kha physical to ani hitin kha thasam kut kha karet ka twate, right? Me ka twate because he's like ready to punch me. The first thing he thought of was atwa mi ka sim kem jilin phui pawl kha ding le chu most of them kha non verbal and sit tong thai lao chu le severe sensory issue and nei mo ki to light touch light de pot la kha severe and to emotional regulation de pot kha an har sa zat yang an tap khalan au kyau. And then danger awareness life skill an nei lo like scissor ki kamang le hon ka kut ka ata thai ka ring tool de vek mai sa ka tham le in ka ni dek ta ki thai cham lo lan right? So like on physical regulation de pot la kha har sa so self harm malema wala khongok, right? An lu khongok lan long ta pakhat la chu ka fial mi atwa du lo sile kho a table phung de atwa a slam mocktail, so helmet ashu, right? To me chen khale an mal man ke walk, right? An ke walk ke che pol kha an si to be long man sala midang an na ter tlan an mal ma an naw ter lo na midang na ter tuan right? Sama pot la kha step is scratched that lan right? So le khon to be long man sala sama pol na ter long man sala long ta dang na ter an chu sima long ta pakhat la kha e yang katideng long ta dang on material man kya du lo ava ding ava thong te ka ste ka we got to be aware, right? Kami pol kha imagine self-contained inclusive class ว่าเรดหลังเถอะ right ข้าไปปวดหลังกันรวดเทียมตัวจุเลยคนacademic จ้าละมินสิเลยคนแค่ร้านไก่เทมอ scissor แต่อันคัดเทมอจะ transition อันตัวเทมอที่ได้ปวดที่มีปวดหัวมาที่เกิดอันหัวสิละจูเกิดจูเกี่ยมาสินะกินจูค่ะ self-contained class มากันเรดเกตินูเลยปากกระสิมหนึ่ง right respectful and mindful เด็กกระสิมหนึ่ง and then we keep going, right? Self-contained classroom ka tu ka successful. Naiding intinan decision nan to azawi. What do you need, right? First, yan tin kan biya kok ding. Communication ka. There's two types, right? Cue card dimi This is a cue card. Cue card dimi tu kimas nama pakat isin plong ta pakat ka biyak dansi. It's a cue card. If I want them to do something, I use a cue card, right? Plong ta pakat ka special afe ding ka. Du lao cho. He wants to go to gym, right? Gym long afe do na music fe du lao. So music and fe ding ti athai betin flora itse. Right? It's a thau du no lo. Come here, thau du lo. I walk over to him and I say, right, this is my walk, right? My cue card, and I say, walk, right? Walk. Kapmu I'm telling him my expectation. But guess what? Magic he didn't follow right away, right? Don't expect magic when we use something. But right? You have to be more stubborn, right? So walk but sometimes right? If I say okay fine the classroom guess what? He won. Because now he knows, hey, if I act like this, I don't have to go to music, right? I can go back to classroom. Miss Elly says I can go back to classroom. Every time we go to music, he'll act out. And then go give in. So, consistent then, stubborn, right? And then CPI train physically touch take lift they lift can't longer but physically lift principal come help me, right? Come here, clash principal shoulder we go to music. We still go to music, right? Music I struggle we still go there. You don't get to choose. We choose because we are teachers, right? We use this and then communication board ka kimika like I am hot, right? Kimi po ka anmani kan masama po in sim thai nak ma mi pon mang thai mi pot like guess what? Pinterest Google adam tuk, right? So kon iPad mang tu la num tu pakhat ka real tu me short prompts anti long ta pakhat thil kan fial leki. And if I say take your papers, go put them in your bin and come sit back down right away. Then ka sim na guess what? Asaw tok ka fial mi atwa pai lo beta asaw beta athai pai lo. So atwa lo ting right? So to make him do that, short prompt taken mang tu, toy taken mang tu. Ataw ding itong ta pakhat ka. First, ka to ter do mi so ka ding ter do, right? I say stand up. Stand up. Ka tiding stand up ka tiding ading hlan lo ka feeling, right? Ading then step 2 ka feeling. Take paper. Take paper then let me see. Kalau sim na unlock ji lo ding, right? Unlock resist feeling so. Unlock hlan lo ka feeling go put in bin kati a bin ka hito ka ti athai ka nan khalam ta walk lang hen, right? Kabe and they do that. So mi te ka don't drag them with their hand. Kutin kan jir le khon kha an power ka badia te ka you will never win. So you move them with their shoulder, right? If you walk like this, you move them with your shoulder, right? Ke I tum tong ta la his shoulder ka move le chu ka ti thai. Kami ka to lo le khon kha physically chu ka ne lo min ti ran se long ta pol kha. So kami put that to keep in mind, right? Atwa te go back to chair, right? Palina ka to do mi ka. Go back to chair. Atwa te ataw ten. Guess what I say? Good job. Good choice. Because he needs to know that what he just did is a good thing, right? So mi pon kasi example nang panhi ka this ma'am. Okay. Himi po ka sensory shangi and supporting in classroom mi kan phang thai mi polan si ka deep in ka go over no loving. Okay, hito kan himi pakhat hito ki bite necklace anti thilkeu pe pol ki thilkeu mang pol silput ya pol ki bite necklace kan te kha tin there bar and then midang tlamian keu lo, right? Me pol kha Okay, so self-contained classroom ka schedule ka bang the same schedule every Sunday, okay? Same kanita same schedule every Sunday kan nei kami same schedule ki fe na ding an thai ding in hi jam tlukan re nan zum months right นั่นถกดิ่งค่ะอันเทียมจีดิ่งคี expectation ในชีวิตเขาม่วงเต้น right expectation ม่วงเต้นนั่นสิ่งดิ่งม่วงเต้นนั่นมันอีกละค่ะนั่นเจอดิ่งกันมาละเรปีอินเดย์ตุนตะกะจูอันราดิ่ง they know what to do right but it took us so long to do that ทำให้เจอmeaning it took us so long okay so จะมีแต่กะนั่นpast ปะคันนี้ okay so let's self-contained classroom กันในเจ้าอยากเท่านั้นเจอดิ่งเราดิ่ง right ยังกันดิ่ง how do I say it leg main thing and rading mo right kwe question ara pang le guess what sa kan zir thai ko sa kan zir bi ti mi fine motor right an kut tham dan kha fine motor ka di kha tim pathum kan rak net cha jo kan net cha ji nga kha print jam jaw to la right container kan nai kha hi mi container kha dollar thria kan lai and then hi mi kha pumps kha an job to hi mi thun ning kha se hi mi an thun ti ka yang mi sen ha tuan an kut yes and then pakhat asi le khonพี่ปวดค่ะ Google ได้กับว่า hold จำเขียนว่าแต่นั้นตัวไทยมันก็ไปเลยจ้ะมีค่ะhold punch สิประคัดอันไล hold อัน punch ที่มีอัน hold อัน punch ยังมีสินหาตัวอัน squeeze right ที่มีค่ะ fine motor อันบอม and then ฉันค่ะแค่รันฟังไทยปวดค่ะ I have to use this it's called trace it ดินจุดเล็กคนแค่รันได้กันไปกับค่ะกัน mindful ดิ้งกระดูกสักมีจูatum right a fat mi ki mangle thalwar you know why because fine motor issue nei da pol ki cham chila pol ki fate thon kan zirle kon ki kai har chu toothpick te lai kai kan tun te man kan kai har chu right to grab it right so na kha atum mi thon kan zir ma asi le kon it's more effective so crayon la ki tu people ki fat crayon ki amazon tam pi marker la keran la fat tu pi kan nei tre kami kha kan phang there so it's more effective for them and then curriculum de bo kan du asile kon curriculum for autism.com ti ni kan phang mi se right game kan ma kan team ni kha achang le khen wa kan du da ni kan to asi kau nan himi nu to tu nu kha she is a christian so mi kha bible tu la de pot la kan nei kan be in ni kha sunday school in lay sa ki kha document kan re sak the kan la ki kan zir right khami din mun la kan thleng thai kan we will get there ti be chin nu kan nei ning mom next okay behavior this is so important how an za de important konan okay san cham mo yang tik jang kan nei yang tik oh really oh my gosh okay so Lian positive behavior tool ha kan real ning mom autism an nei ronga kan du lau mi thil an tua len kan let go ding mo or kan fix ding yes don't ever say autism an nei ronga it's okay thei cham lo men si khati kha kan let go lo ding never they need to learn what is the right thing to do and what is not the right thing to do right arai pi in they asi khale they still need to learn right what you can do something easy is if you can pocket chart kan nei lo mana mo paper tu pia ki if you can printing a good choices less sad choices if you can to and so we make charts right sharing is that a good choice or a sad choice you can do that and then kami kha wall la kha na red ding iti wall you're going to put in a wall and then tong ta pakhat ni kha hit bang ta sa minung pakhat kha thoi bang ta sa you can bring hitting sad choice no tivekin kha you can still use that behavior chart to teach them right expectations tim re raw tul bang la kan bang ning jang atile sim lo to jo we khate kan let go le khon kha from the beginning kan restart back in kha feel to ti na kha don't kan lo to ga tul right we can't be lazy right you can call it happy choice or sad choice kan set thing okay so reward system right thil pakhat kan tua ter du kan du cha kan tua ter du but let me tell you an tua lo ding they don't want to do it they will never do it but we still have to make them do it right and thought they're do it so here comes the first and then board a chart this is my favorite thing to use ever glowing nat la kan phang be nat la kan phang first means first akha an tua pai lau mi le an du tuk mi together in combined in right pair it right for example a tua pai lau mi pakhat chu cha afin angan du lau bang ta sala right first write name then Play-Doh right Play-Doh do le ma first write name then Play-Doh do you see how I'm using short prompts first write name then Play-Doh right ตรงตาประคัดค่าสมาไร expectation so Play-Doh ka le tools po sa ataw dingi table ka mang dingi si. But what he wants to do is Play-Doh in his hand, tool in his hand, and walk around the classroom, right? Play-Doh ton pak le ka do. But that's not what we want them to do. And let go men, let go men, then he's gonna think that's okay to do it. So kava fake, guess what I do? I take away his Play-Doh from his hand, and sometimes I have to force it, take it away. Me Play-Doh na do len na tau ta tool ti mi ka sim tool ti. So I say, sit for Play-Doh la ka ti thai. Or I say sit first, then Play-Doh, right? Simre ataw tia a ka long a Play-Doh ka pek as I give him Play-Doh. I say good choice. Always tell them good choice. Tu na tua mi til dig asi ti mi ka. Tell them good, right? Kaha, this is first and then this is my favorite. Himi kan phang le ka immediate response kan du le ki ka phang tell. Right away ka to du ka du le himi ka phang tell. The next one is called a token board. Himi token board hitsu longer, right? Longer span. Whole classroom a last thing ka du le hi ka phang. It has 5 stickers. Tong ta pakhat ka thu ngai du lo du a smart tuk nan ka. She doesn't want to do anything. Ara le kon ke taw mani game lek men long adu. So, kasimple, if you get 5 stickers, class ma aray do big me to big easel board paper hakima in draw ka. That's her favorite thing to do. And so I said, if you get 5 stickers, you get draw Miss Elly. Kate, draw Miss Elly if you get 5 stickers, right? But kami nuka immediate response ka phang le ka. Sa pakhat ka to ter dingi, ka draw ter ding ding suti. I don't want that. I want her to do follow directions all like Sunday school sung follow their token board kamang, right? So it lasts longer. And so station pakata tila to like good job katiling karet, right? Pakata nga and then pakata nga like good job katila. Sometimes anma dalan bun ter thai mo. And then malte ka turn away arak to dulo sa agava face. Oh, remember 3 stickers, then you can draw begin kasim sa, right? Anika first then kamang asile konvoy katia to ding ka pek ji tool. So I don't want that. I want it to last longer, so that's what I use. But immediate response ka to der dola I use first and board. And next one is a choice board. Himichu choice board is kadu tuk mi pakhana sukha sil pakhat ka to der mi goal ka nei ti. Nan khami goal nga dingin kha 2 options ka pek ding. Khami 2 options kha. Azyang a choose khale ke ka shanga yang man effect law. But I'm tricking him to think he has control. Right? Min ka ngan ter du asibang ta sila kha. Choice ka pek ding so you can write it with marker or you can write it with crayons. But yang a choose khale ka goal jo amin angan ding mi nong ka care. So 2 choices ka pek ka ayang a choose khale kon katum ta mi jo to tha ding, right? But I'm tricking him. It's like okay, right? And then marker angan khale he's still writing his name, right? So himya ka choice board ka sometimes I like to use my hands. I just go like this, marker or crayon, right? Kating kapang men use because himyak board he all the time king re rao he thungai de jon nok chu ti chimi kha first then la hi chu ka log in most of the time kapang because ka king ring ve thai lo. And next one, last one, not my favorite, but it's called a snack bribe. Behavior severe tuk, right? First and born ni pot la kan thing thai lo cool down technique ke am nei no lo ara ding iti kick jam me kick jam ding yang man cool down thai no lo, right? Me kick jam me thong to cool down thai no lo. The least thing I can do is bring out his favorite snack, right? I do me snack. Do you want chips? Do you want goldfish? If you want goldfish, you have to be quiet. They can sometimes get bribe tell. To ting ting ko lao tilao, but it's an idea, right? Loi na ta kan phang long ta pakat kha Dorito thak big mi kha du. So back to bin kan lei kha closer kan de. So pakat te kha kan khya ki kha thil pakat transition to ti le kon pakat te kha ka te kan wan de sa. They can kan bribe, right? Sometimes kan to do so himi pol kha kan phang we have to use this to get them to do something. Classroom can set up the an ra ding e sa kan to te an to chi ding in kha kan expect louding, right? We have to tell them what to do. Okay, behavior pakhat hi kan test the behavior pakhat hi every time a kid show behavior sama poni hi kan respond the tu lao kan respond the tu lao yang atile kon some behavior happens for a reason kami kha yang ro a reason ti me kan the tu, right? Sensory the behavior happens because it feels good or provides comfort ati. For example, cha kazir laya kha fidget toy kha avalak, right? Fidget toy avalak at taw sa bang ta sala oh, okay, because he needed that fidget toy, right? He needed that fidget toy. So behavior, but I'm just going to say, hey, next time ask for help, right? But I'm not going to like fix his behavior of needing that sensory toy because they don't have a cook loading, right? Escape behavior. Like for example, music what did he do? Lie down on the floor, right? To make wrong, escape wrong, escape he wins. So we're still gonna go, right? And then next one is attention. Attention is my attention and do wrong and act out. Don't ding na carpet yellow right? Yellow I need that yellow space to move, right? Yellow do you know why? Mani attention do wrong, right? And so I know her reason behind acting like that is because she wants that attention. So I'm not gonna give her that attention. Yeah, so right? All behavior doesn't need that. So go around her. I ignore her. Atin hang, right? Atin hang tuk. The whole day gave my attention no long hado. Kapel lao lolo sama tang pol ka handle there, right? Because she wanted that. And then ani ka himi tampi kan pangnon the whole day because she just need that. So na himi kan thai tu aneta dule kon thil pakhat kan du andu wrong ma. Like for example alek du wrong scream jam zau direct you have to decide, does this need a reaction from me, right? Behaviors you have to know why are they acting like that. So the 4 functions of behavior, put them in the back of your mind, right? But it's hard because you have to make decision right away. Make the best decision that you think at the moment, right? To me, reflection time oh, I shouldn't have done that. I do that all the time. Don't that pakat ka, alut veten ka, yang kating tau kama atau lo le kon, tiang yang mana tuat dulu, kahil, ada lut veten 10 swak lut there, 10 swak lut there, 10 is swak do no lo, sa tuat do no lo. That was my bad, right? But kami ada lut akaki emotional tuk ruang ka, I might help nak ting akatis 10 nak lut there. I shouldn't have done that, right? I should have put him in the chair and just give him like toys, right? So teacher just make your best decision, okay? All right, lungru, okay? The message I want you to go home with is be more stubborn than the kid. And my lungru tool, right? Okay. Himi poka resources in paper takeaway. Himi barrier key. We use it to protect ourselves. So that in Thawng they can barrier can read, right? Man to kung nan, right? Something to invest on, right? So himi po toys po la an cha toy kan lele ko hitong po toy kan lelo. It's a waste of money, right? Think of toys that is beneficial for them, what they might like. Himi po ka flow in like kan be in a successful kan phang mi ka fu mi po resources ka share ma kan lay do pa nga. All right, san lai mo game kan nei mo. Yes. San mo.
15 minutes. The next one doesn't start until
15 minutes.
15 minutes. And right now it's 2:45.
Okay. Okay, sila. Scenario 1 game kan lek deng. Nan fidget kam hang pa phau mo.
If you would
Lesson Nazir Laya. David Ka covers his ears and screams, right? And then table tanga lut. The moment you start playing a video, the video and the play it then katina umti. Are you going to ignore him and continue the lesson, or are you going to lower the volume, give him a headphone, and let him stay in a calm corner? Team pig or team dog? Team dog, right? Ignore, guess what? He's already screaming, crawling, and covering his ear. So tuntak atul means to cool down atul. Cool down atul, right? Cool down atul cool down to lower the volume a little bit so that headphones back in calming area then ascending, right? Next one to za kanangan there dingin Lian ni ka. Pencil dingin no writing. Kangan du lao I yell, okay? Are you going to do team pig or team dog? Repeat the direction louder until he complies, or use a first and visual. First writing, then playtime. Then which one? Team dog or team pig? Dog. Yes, team pig here. However, a situation comes out a prompt is pencil a ding so it's already getting physical, right? Go gamen and can remind ten because it's already getting physical. So immediately take out first and then hey first, right? And then guess what? We can play, right? Think and do it, hey. Next one. Okay, Sweetie. Sweetie flaps her arms and rocks while waiting in line. Line me, not she's flapping her arms. And then another student said, she looks weird. Ati, what would you do? Team pig or team dog? Sorry, Sophia got Sweetie ding si, okay? Team dog ki Sweetie ding si. Auto correcting ara umika. Sweetie ding si. Yes, team pig, right? Gan siara asile kon a flap me a rock me. Is she hurting anybody else? No, that's her stimming. She's not avoiding. You're just waiting in line. She's not bothering anything else. But that kid right there that says, she looks weird, right? She is bullying, right? So it will. So, a fire another student that says she's weird, na tackle my door, right? Because Sweetie doesn't do it. It's not doing anything, right? She's not harming anybody else. Oh, sorry. Next. Okay, so Thawng starts crying loudly after losing sorry, gangan said losing in a class game, right? So game nan lek lang ning to inclusive class nan umika game nan lek lang ning, right? We like to play a game, but a team card sum so what you gonna do? Yeah. Okay. Can you guys write down some stuff for me? So, when waiting for a 10 to pick a toy, Nora starts jumping and calling out, my turn now! It's my turn! Can you write down the steps that you would do? It's okay. Oh, ito ka. What would you do? Right? Long ta dang polit toy and pick today, but my turn as lo. Right? But it's my turn and jump right out. My turn now. What would you do? Yes.
I would calm Nora down and explain.
How would you calm her down? Because listen, she's yelling and jumping, right? It's actually very maklaute answer sinan hard to kanandot abang, I feel like. Huh? First then kind of mangle kon. Yeah. This is what I would do, right? Like I said, me tuka sindan vekin teacher Paul he me he behavior tuan Paul ke yang katin kan thok ana katin san suti. We have to make the best decision right away, right? Nare mi ta swallow, right? However, it's easy for me to criticize you right now because I have time to think about it. But at the moment, it's so hard to make the correct decision, right? Do not whatever you think is best, do it. Right? Yeah, you go, then you say, Nora, quiet, wait for your turn. Reminder, right? I give him a reminder. My turn! She reminds it again. If you want toy, you have to be quiet, right? Something like that. Katin can remind tool, right? Calm down, the toy never pick. It doesn't really work because now she gets what she wants. She gets the toys, right? So now, what I want to tell you is make the best decision, right? So me reflection time. They are like, oh, I should have done that. Learn from it, right? Okay, that's all for today. Thank you. Yes.
No. I think maybe can play to you like can be collecting data.
Yes.
I know like school debate student my system committee how to collect it, but for Sunday school and church debate
Yes.
is there like a website or is
No.
there some place that we can
Okay, ngai tao data la ka kha yang mi format kan mang, right?
yeah.
Lo na kha mang mi te kan nei lo be na kha I made my own. Ka thai tu mi kha ke kha potential so lo in background kan nei te ka kha I know what I need, right? Chuna kha khami kha form te kha kan nei khami kha kan du len ka lo share thai. Okay.
จุเราก็อดัมค่ะดูเว็บไซต์ที่แบบอดัม
Website ที่แบบบอลค่ะจูกันโฮเลจูกันหูเก่าเด้ง right Google ได้กับ type ละค่ะ like behavior data collection right for kids with autism they can search ดูปากเก้ค่ะกับจูมีเต้ค่ะ category เต้เตกะค่ะ I just make my own and then ค่ะมีค่ะกันฟังตุนกันดูเลยค่ะกับเรา share เท่ but totally Google ละกันโฮล it's always there yes เอาเลย
Tapi sini boleh nahak tu dia kan abang ketika dia ke makan kekha itu kuntai lini kah dia ngapa kami semua kan pakai kah ini kami dah kalian kan ini bang
oh autism này thì oh see ahar because kum hleli upa pol ke it's like middle school the high school one see right but unbehavior data pol kha lakha danglam chong lo adanglam chong because upa an sironga kha okay so self contained classroom kan jana ka kai kha lower classroom ku upa classroom da right 4th and 5th ball classroom dang den kan no 3 4 5 classroom dang den kan ni kindergarten and then first and second kha kan ma kan si right khami po kha khami an parlam pol kha kan ma tanglam ni behavior kan jam chaw chu parlam an fe right pa khami behavior po kha an hlau che jam chaw si swang lo right because you don't grow out of autism right khami po kha upa an si ronga data kan tu kan simi po ma ki an thanga silo kan bang thei che me si the thau chunak I would recommend is anu le pa bia ko la kha and then class ma tau thai mo tau thai right cha to te mi to thai mo okay sila dia make device amang tong dinga yaman pelau ti sila sia pakhat na sina kin kha nang ma thom bia ko pe te do asila communication board kha to sak sala thading right akyang den re dingi kha atul mi te pol kha folamin mo tong mo mirangin communication board kha paper tumpi ki kimi ki kan ne sometimes Amazon la order nga communication board ti menu la nan kan ma an ma tlong ta I an ma sang ro ri to kan du la khen ba te kat la ki I just make one okay communication board te ki to saksa thading de because na tum ta mi so amat la khanang ma tham communicate tam da nin khan du saksa lo som asinan karel do wi pakha chu tu lawa ba tong ter cham chaw lo sala ti because it's just not them right cha kan feel de ka in answer asik an chan ti dai kan duwa in answer asik chum ke ka sha chaw to right and then roll people thon an tong cham chaw lo ma na kha an lek tlangi akyang mi dang ava social cham to asilo ava ti na cham to silo chon khati it doesn't bother me right because tong an tong chu kan du sak se ko nan kha an ma out of place dingin kan force cham chaw ain kha because that will stress them out more an ma khat na stress their something right tu classroom atau the na feel me atwa the right ke ka sang ka tok to so yes asinan tong ter du shim nang ma tham bia ko der na du asila communication board te ki to asala ti hey lungoi bye
I think she needs her own help. Thank you.
Good job, you know. Start back later.
okay
We'll get back.